Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is August 8th, 2018, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the economic events of the day, starting out earlier this morning out of Australia, Royal Bank of Australia's Governor Lowe was speaking, and that's in response to yesterday's rate decision. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. Later today at 4:30 South African time, weekly oil inventories numbers coming out. And lastly, for those that are trading the New Zealand dollar, official cash rate coming out at 11 o'clock South African time. Now, lots happening in the markets. Yesterday, Tesla announced that it was going to buy back its shares and privatize the company from a public traded company into a private company, and was going to pay up for it at $420. The stock was trading about $330. We'll take a look in just a moment, but let's see what's been happening in the markets because there has been some exciting rotation.
This conference will now be recorded.
So we're initially starting out with the Euro USD, and we finally got a bounce yesterday. We got a capitulation on the bottom side. So it looks like we've, solidified this support level here at 1530-ish level, as you can see here. And finally, this capitulation yesterday of this massive sell-off, relatively, to the size of what we're trading recently, and then capitulating down at 1530, and then bouncing right above it, and then retaliating on the upside. So, ultimately we're trading right now at a minor resistance level at 1620. So keep that in mind because this has been, a previous support level. So question is that if it does, break above it, we could see it back into the 1680, 1670-ish level up here. However, if we do see a correctional move, then we'll be trading sideways for a while. Now, altogether, this has really been capitulated by the Aussie USD. Let's jump to the Aussie USD. As you can see, at the top of its range. Now, we're in really a pivotal moment in the Aussie USD as we've hit these two levels for quite some time. We've been trading with these two areas, with these two ranges. With that said, I'd like to see some sort of breakout here, above the 74.60-ish level, for this to, possibly make a upwards trend. Ultimately it's been failing every time it's had a rally. It just comes right back down, but maybe this time it'll actually fruitate on the upside. So just keep an eye on that, wait for the breakout, and then once you have the confirmation of the breakout, then you could just jump in. However, we got to wait for that to actually happen, as we've been in this range for quite some time. We're looking to break out of it. However, not everything was strong against the dollar. If you jump to the GBP USD, boom, we're looking at a daily chart. We're dead. The thing is not bouncing, barely bouncing. So this is, the GBP could, continue making further correction, maybe down to the 2880-ish level. If we do break that, like I mentioned yesterday, we could definitely see 2726-ish level. All right, so very disconcerting about the GBP, not showing much life, not showing some resilience, and really breaking down on the downside. So keep that in mind as we continue to trade that later today. USD Swiss franc trading within the range, right? 99.82-ish level yesterday, and then we kind of sold off since then, and we're trading in the 99.30-ish level, right in the middle of the range. Nothing really to write home about, but no big surprises. We're trading beautifully in the RSI. We're going to the top of the range, selling off, going to the bottom of the range, and then being bought. So, for a range-bound trade, this is phenomenal. This is money to be made almost on a weekly basis. Now, jumping into oil. Oil's got a little bit of a resistance level here at $69.50. It hasn't really broken out, and we look like we're forming a wedge formation, as you can see here, which is relatively a bearish indicator. All right, because we have this resistance at 670-ish level. Let's call it 69.70-ish level. And then and then this little wedge formation that's making higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. So, this may actually correct itself on the downside. So just keep an eye on that, as this wedge formations generally produce a move in one way or another. So just keep an eye on that later today, in the anticipation that may correct itself later today. Now, the big story of the day is Tesla. All right, Tesla yesterday Elon Musk, who's the CEO of Tesla, who's a South African native, okay? Yesterday they came out with earnings, which is not earnings, but yesterday they came out with a news stating that they may privatize the company and buy back the shares at $420 per share. Now the stock is trading at $330 per share yesterday, and gapping up, and then but that was subject to investor confirmation, investor approval, and once they got the investor approval, it skyrocketed to $386 a share. So, it remains to be seen if this was actually will pass, okay, because they have to go through the SEC and through regulatory bodies in order to privatize the company. But that being said, we're at almost all-time highs, okay? So you don't need much to bring us back to the all-time highs. If we look at the NASDAQ, really flirting with all-time highs, okay? So, any small kind of positive news in a bullish market just takes us even higher, okay? What is disconcerting is that Apple didn't really follow through. It didn't sell off much, but didn't really follow through on the upside. So maybe taking a breather here as we, digest some of the information. Okay, looking at the Dow Jones though. Dow Jones been struggling with this number, 25,500-ish level, and yesterday we broke above it. Now, I'd like to see some continued rally today, all right, to see if this is going to break this 25,800-ish level, okay, to bring us somewhere back to, previous highs of, in February that we had of 2018 in the 26,000 area. So that's something to consider, if this does, continue its rally on the upside, for a stronger market. All right, now jumping lastly into Bitcoin, really falling out of bed here. I'm very surprised at this, because, it looked like it was solidifying up here above 7,800 and then just, making an about face and a correctional move on the downside. So, this is part of what's so difficult about trading these type of new assets is that they don't have much follow through. They don't, it's questionable about, they look strong and then they change character really quickly, and then once they don't really, there's no confirmation on the upside, they don't follow through, and therefore they make a correctional move on the downside, which was not expected. Okay, ultimately this looked like it was solidifying. Some better news came out about the cryptocurrencies, but we're back to the 6,400 level. Okay, so that's a little bit disconcerting again. So if we do break this 6,200-ish level, we can see a correctional move back to the 5,000. Okay, so looking kind of bleak here, as we're looking at the markets, correct itself with the Bitcoin. So keep that in mind and keep that in sight, because this could be a really great opportunity on the downside. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.